important thing is the fact that you are always on the other side of the radio, always willing to listen to us. And that is one thing that we do not take for granted. Well, in case you just tuned in, this is the Sunny Side Show. I am Cassandra, your media chick, and right now it is Top Gear on Eagles 102.3 FM. And yes, let's talk about some of the safety features that are dear on your car that you might just be overlooking, or why it is important that you start using them. Because it's not just about owning a car, it's about that car being very functional. I know we've been talking about owning a car, maintaining a car, repairing a car, or even driving a good car. But apart from you just driving a good car, apart from you just owning a car, the need for it to be functional, the need for it to help you, especially as regards your safety, is very important. And that is why today on the show we are going to be talking about some of those features. The last time on the show we looked at driving safety. We talked about the seatbelts and why it's important that you check your car before you leave, and what you should do when you are on the road and even when you are off the road. But today on the show we shall be looking at some of the safety features that are dear in your car that obviously for some people they may not know, for some people they may know, but they don't think that it is necessary for them to use it, for them to use these features. Yes, anytime we have conversations like this, it is not to say that you don't know these things already, but it's just to encourage you to continue to use them, or to start using them if you've not been using them in the past. This is because it's for your safety and for the fact that we cherish you so much. That is why we always bring this to you. So today we shall be exploring, some of the top safety features in your vehicles, the vehicles that you drive, and why it is important for you to activate some of these features. All right, now the very first one for me would be the child safety lock feature. Now, this feature allows parents to lock, the rear doors and the windows of the car, preventing children from accidentally opening them while the car is in motion. If you have kids, if you are a parent, you can attest to the fact that children are so hyper. Like, they have this hyper energy that no matter how well you think you're training your child, sometimes your child will just misbehave. So if you are a parent, or if you have children using your car very often, you don't even need to be a parent. It's very important that you activate the child safety lock feature, because this feature is very important, given the high population density and sometimes the traffic congestion that we may have, especially when you are in a traffic jam, and your child might just out of the blues just open up the window, because they feel, children are very inquisitive, they always want to explore. So it's very important that that particular feature is activated, because it provides an added layer of safety and peace of mind for you, especially when you're on the wheels, because you don't expect to be on the wheels and at the same time you're trying to look at what your child is doing at the back. Your focus is supposed to be on the steering. So for you to have that peace of mind when you're driving, it's important that you activate the child safety lock feature. Now, there are some modern cars that come with, smart door locks, which can be controlled with the remote. You don't even need to press anything. It just works on its own. But some of these features are obtainable in very luxurious cars that are very expensive. But for cars that are very obtainable, especially here in our climate, we have more of the middle class and just our going on about our day-to-day activity. It's important that you try to find out how to use that feature and activate it. It's not just about knowing that that feature is present in your car. It's about the importance of you using that feature, talking about the child safety lock feature, because it helps you as a parent to ensure your child's safety or your children's safety while you're driving. Remember that you cannot divide your attention when you're on the steering. You have to focus your attention when you are driving and keep it going, so you don't have the luxury of coming to watch what your child is doing behind. So it's very important that you activate that. And yes, this feature is very important and useful, especially for some people that may forget to lock up the doors while driving with their children. You may forget to lock up the doors because we are humans. Sometimes, no matter how careful you are, sometimes you still tend to forget some of these things. So when this feature is activated, when this child safety feature, child safety lock feature is activated, even while you forget to lock your doors, it will still have a way of helping you to curtail any it's important that parents adopt this. It's not just about knowing, it's about adopting it every time, remembering its usefulness and ensuring that it helps you. 102.3 FM Abuja, and yes, we are exploring some of the top safety features in a vehicle. Now, there are some of these features that you really underrate, and the one that I'm going to talk about now is the side mirrors. Some people do not understand the essence of mirrors on a car. Like, those things are not mirrors on a car. Like, those things are not put there for fancy. They are not put there for fancy. They are not put there for your safety, as it helps you to stay away from, to stay aware of your surroundings while driving. You are on the road, and sometimes some of these things have been very unpredictable. Everywhere is quite congested, and you need to monitor what's going on. And that is why the last time I said that driving is really brain work, because at the same time you have to keep your eyes on the road, and then your mind has to work. You have to use like your third eye or something to see what's going on by your side or behind you. So these rear mirrors or these side mirrors make it easy for you. And there are different types of mirrors that we have, which is the rear view mirror, which provides a clear view of the area behind the vehicle. That's why it's called the rear view. That helps you to prevent or detect any any hazard that may be at your back. For instance, maybe someone is driving so closely, you are able to monitor them and you're able to curtail that, and you can reverse safely. Especially when you want to reverse, it helps you to see what's going on behind you. You don't just reverse and then maybe you hit someone. And then let's talk about the side mirrors, which are also known as the wing mirrors. This provide of the areas by either side of the vehicle. Is skill. I think you driving without your mirrors, as much as some people would say, oh, you are a pro, you're an expert, it doesn't really sit down well like that. It's important for you to use your mirror. Yes, it's very important. That will help to prevent accidents, especially when you are reversing or trying to change your lane. Don't just head onto the road. Don't just move into the road straight because you feel you are a pro. When it comes to these things, nobody is an A1 professional. We learn every day, and the truth of the matter is that no matter how many years you think you have been driving, every day is a learning point for you. And I think it applies in every aspect of our lives. So it's not just in driving. But we'll be back to have this conversation more after we go pay some bills. When we come back, Top Gear continues right here on Eagles FM.
Eagles 102.3 Abuja. Are you ready for this?
Keep this frequency clear.
We're live. I woke up with a Eagles FM 102.3 Abuja.
Abuja, get ready for 3 extraordinary nights of completeness with Pastor Chris, tagged Upward and Forward Only.
The program at Abuja is taking place 21st to 23rd of March at the National Stadium.
From Friday the 21st to Sunday, 23rd March 2025 by 3 p.m. daily. Come in on 0902-919-3669. Powered by Christ Embassy, giving your life a meaning.
Cars for purchase to maintenance and even road use. Don't go too far. Listen to Top Gear on Eagles 102.3 FM every
Next 25 minutes on The Entrepreneur. Mondays to Fridays, 3 p.m. on Eagles 102.3 FM Abuja. For more
102.3 FM Abuja. Log on to our website, Instagram at Eagles FM 1023. Download our apps on your Android and iOS stores. Eagles 102.3 FM Abuja, your radio experience you can count on. From purchase to maintenance, let's give you a spin.
Because you feel they do not matter, but we are just trying to encourage you that as much as you want to drive your car, your safety should be number one, and as much as you want to be adventurous, it's important that you put all of these things into cognizance. And today we have been talking some of the features, and now let's look at the airbags. Now airbags are vital safety feature in modern cars. Yes, there are some cars that don't have bags, but thank goodness these days a lot of cars are designed with the airbags, and this is because in the case of a collision or in the case of fatality, and in this part of the world we understand how it's very risks of fatality, and according to statistics it reduces the risk of fatality by up to 30%. So if you look at it combined with your seat belt and then with the airbags, at least you stand a higher chance of survival and of course minimal injuries. And then let's talk about the reduced risk of injury. Airbags can reduce the risk of injury by 50%, and improved safety is something that cannot be negotiated on at all, because the airbags provide an additional layer of safety at the speeds of up to 200 kilometers per hour. Yes, and then the airbags deploy in a fraction of a second. It deploy in a little as 30 milliseconds. And another fun fact about airbags is that they are designed to work with your seat. The last time I was talking about you putting on your seatbelt. The seatbelt is another underrated airbags. Or for the airbags to function effectively, you always need to wear your seatbelt. That is just it. The airbags are designed to work with your seatbelt. So always wear your seatbelt to maximize protection. So you having that car that has an airbag is not enough. What matters is when you put on your seatbelt, because these cars are designed in such a way that your airbag works in conjunction with your seatbelt. It's like a partnership, and that is why we always emphasize on you wearing your seatbelt anytime. Your car may come with an airbag and everything, but is it properly installed? When last did you check if it was functional or effective in the case of any collision? And then another one is for you to avoid tampering with airbags. The last time we were talking about your car maintenance, washing of your car and everything. Sometimes we trust people with our cars. We just go to the car wash. We're not even looking at what is going on. If you are washing your car, if you are a regular if you patronize car wash centers regularly, it's important that you are always active. And sometimes even at home, maybe your younger ones, or maybe people, it's very important that you avoid tampering with airbags or attempt disabling them, especially without professional help. This is where your mechanics come in. This is where the engineers come in to help see what's going on. Don't try to do it on your own. Even if you want to check its effectiveness, it's important that you do that with the assistance of somebody that is experienced. And yes, airbags are designed to deploy action automatically in the event of a collision or without the need of manual activation. And that is why it's important that you wear your seatbelt, because the sensors a collaboration between your airbags and the seatbelt. So if you did not know, now you know. It's important that you put on your seatbelt for the airbags to be activated. But while the airbags deploy itself automatically, it's important to follow proper safety procedures, and that is why we are trying to let you know that one of these safety procedures to even activate in the case of a collision is by wearing your seat belt and ensuring that your children are properly restrained Yes, you always have to let your children know, because you love them so much does not mean that you are not going to let them understand the impact of being very put together or safe when it has to do with you driving them. Now, another one is the fact that the lights. Let's talk about the lights. The last time I was saying, there are some people that would drive kilometers without their lights. They feel like it's not important for them to drive their vehicles with lights. You see some vehicles, the lights have fallen off, but the drivers are so unbothered. Vehicle lighting is a very important aspect of road safety or car safety, because apart from providing illumination to help you navigate the road, it's also important because in the part where another person that is driving maybe behind you, there are some signals that you can give. There are some people that say, okay, the headlights have their function, the tally lights have their function, the brake lights, the turn signal lights. Sometimes somebody is driving and then you see that the person in your front that is coming, if they're doing lights, there's a particular light that they're doing, you know that, oh, this person is about to turn, that's a turn signal light, you know that this person is about to change direction, so it's easy for you to drive. So the lights are not just there for the night. You can activate those lights even in the afternoon, because there are certain parts of those lights that are able to signal the other drivers on the road. They're able to warn other drivers of your vehicle's intention, whether you want to slow down or you want to stop. It's not every time that you have to be horning. It's not every time you need to horn. The lights, for very professional people who drive, they understand the importance of this light. So the moment they see you activate or use these lights, they know that this is the direction that this person wants to turn to, or this is where this person wants to go to. So it's necessary that you activate these lights as necessary in the daytime. It's not only in the afternoon that you have to use your lights. And yes, of course, the proper vehicle lighting helps to improve visibility, and apart from that, it also reduces the risk of accidents. Yes, imagine you driving without your lights. It's in the dead of the night, so the other person that is coming is not seeing that someone else is coming, so they are taking the whole lane because it's in the dead of the night. So they take like the whole, before you would say jack, it's something else. So it's important that your lights are on, especially at night or in low visibility conditions, which is probably the night, or where it is not very clear or dark. It's important that you do that. There are so many other ways that I think that you can stay safe by keeping your car in good shape, or even adopting some of these safety features that have been put in your vehicle. The most important thing is for you to understand the need for you to use these features. These features have been put in your car not just for fancy. They have been put there to ensure your safety, ensure that you use them. The utility of these features would help you to stay safe. Yes, nobody's going to live forever, but you have a big role to play. When you want to buy a car, it's important that you get a car from a reputable dealer. It's very important. I've seen cases where people get cars from people who are not very reputable. The moment they buy the car, the next moment they are not leaving the mechanic shop. It's very important. And if you are getting a fairly used car, you need to have a total history of that vehicle. It's